we don't see about the Sixers for real.
Frauds.
I mean,
Fraudulent.
see, right now they're hurt, so I can't even say that. But I'm still with the same sentiment that Brett Brown's gonna get fired at the end of the season, regardless of if everybody comes back or if everybody doesn't come back. You know what I'm saying?
They're one of the contenders that I'm disappointed in because I thought they would be a contender, but they're one of the contenders that's not a contender.
Doesn't it kind of feel like it's almost like not to as much of an extent, but like the Raptors, like
you change during the LeBron era, where it's
you
just
change
like,
the coach, and then they'll probably realize how great they are. Mm-hmm. But Brett Brown is not a good coach. Brett Brown has two of the best players at their respective positions right now, and they can't do anything outside of Philadelphia. Like, at all. That's inexcusable. Like, they go on the road and they lose to trash teams. It's not even like they're going on the road and playing against top contenders. They'll lose against the Hawks, or they've gotten blown out against the Nets without Kyrie. They've been in close games with the Knicks. Like, bottom feeder teams, they are struggling with on the road. Like, granted, they have one of the best home court advantages in basketball, but you have to go on the road in the playoffs. And when you go on the road in the playoffs, it's a totally different atmosphere.
And you also got to think, now they're on the bottom half of the East, so they're not even going to have home court. Right now? I'm pretty sure they're either five or 6.
They're 5 teetering on 6, so it's probably going to be between them or Indiana.
Mm-hmm. But even so, they're not going to have home court advantage at any point during the playoffs. Mm-hmm. So if you don't have home court advantage, you already lost 20-something games on the road.
As much as Brett Brown isn't a good coach, it's not his fault that Ben Simmons' game is the way it is. Because at the end of the day, you're not going to see the max potential from those two players playing with each other.
But okay, so here's the thing. My argument to that, right? Okay, Nick Nurse. Think about what he got out of guys like Van Vliet, what he was getting out of Siakam before he became Siakam this year. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I'm not saying that guys have to play outside of their game, but guys have to develop their game and show development. Like,
yeah, but Ben Simmons hasn't. That's my thing.
And that's a problem. I'm holding Ben Simmons accountable, but at the same time, you have to hold Brett Brown accountable.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. I agree. He's not a good coach. He's not getting the most out of his team. But at the same time, his two best players' games do not fit with each other.
Yeah. Okay.
So and that's it. You're not going to see the max potential from those two players until they're separate. There's the reason why whenever Ben Simmons is hurt, Joel Embiid cooks, and it's not just because, okay, I'm the only focal point in the offense. Yeah. They have completely different game styles, and they want to play completely different paces.
Yeah.
So nothing about them meshes together.
So is it more Brett Brown's or is it Elton Brand's, and probably before that, Brian Colangelo's, who was a GM before Elton Brand took over because they got Hinkie out of town?
Because my thing with that is, it's on paper, it sounds like it would make sense. Yeah. Ben Simmons is a young player. They're both young players, so you would think there's some development there. And we've spoken about this already, the lack of development on his end. Bro, even if you don't make it, you have to shoot them to keep them honest. You shoot them enough, they'll go in eventually. Some of them will fall even by dumb luck. Rondo was hitting threes in the playoffs at one point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's at some point, especially... Honestly, I think it might just be because everything's kind of been handed to him. Because when Ben Simmons came in, the Sixers were put together pretty solidly already. He was just looked at as this chosen one coming out. So it was like, all right, he's going to do all these things. He's bigger. He's more athletic. He has the physical gifts. And he's just like, all right, I'm just not going to do the basketball side.
You know, it's funny because, like, I don't even think he needs a 3. I just think he would need a
something
mid-range.
To keep them honest.
Like, even just a consistent mid-range would
they guard him from the foul line.
Yeah. That's what you do when you play in the park against somebody that you know is garbage and you know can't shoot. So you're just like, oh, let him shoot. Give him like 10 feet of space. It's mad disrespectful. Yeah. And I think to your point, you're kind of right, because at LSU was not a good basketball team when he was there. Yet all the focus was on Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons didn't have to have a jump shot in college, because if you're bigger, you're a 6'9" point guard in college. Obviously, you're going to be getting to the rim any chance you get. I mean, it's college. So I agree with that. Like, and going back to the Raptors, like you said, like they get Van Vliet, Siakam, Boucher this year has come out.
Yeah.
So I think it is part on Brett Brown and the developmental staff of the Sixers.
But to me, it comes down to Ben Simmons, and with any sport and any athletes, elite level athleticism will take you to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Like in any regard, but when shit gets real, if you're trying to take it to the next level, that's when you work on the actual game.
Right.
Like, this is obviously to a smaller scale, but it's like, even when I started playing volleyball, I had good instincts because I'm athletic. when I started playing against like real players, then it was like, oh shit, like I need to learn how to actually play. And to me, it's like Ben Simmons has been out here, like All-Star game early on, like all the shit he got early on, all the success based off his athleticism. What kind of quote-unquote top-tier player disappears in a half-court offense? Especially someone playing the guard position.
You know, it's kind of funny.
Dude, even fucking Andre Miller used to post people up.
Hey,
like, come on. What are you getting out of Ben Simmons in a half-court?
This kind of ties into the Harden Giannis debate, because if it was that easy to be, because Ben Simmons is 6'9", right? 6'10". Yeah. If it was that easy, why isn't Ben Simmons playing at the level of a Giannis?
But that's the thing.
The difference of only about maybe 2 inches, 2.5 inches, right? At least Giannis, and the knock on Giannis for the past few years was Giannis can't shoot, blah blah. What did Giannis do over the past 2 years? So almost what Blake Griffin did to, extend his game. Slowly but steady. All right, jump shot. Even if you're missing, at least you're taking them, right? Even this year. Yes, we see the videos of Giannis airbowling threes, right?
Mm-hmm. And Giannis
and he gets clowned, and he gets clowned for it. But he's had games where he's made 2-3 threes.
He's
gone
hit 4 against the Lakers.
He hit 5 against the Lakers.
There you go.
So at least he's trying. At least like, okay, he could possibly make it. Ben Simmons has shot, 4 threes on the year?
And that's what I think it is. He has like 4 threes in his fucking career.
And of course, his first career 3.
But
came against my Knicks.
Shout out to the Knicks for winning against the Rockets last night. But that's my thing. And it's also, it's definitely different mindsets. This is someone coming, like, Giannis was always seen as a project. He was not like a super high pick. Yeah. We didn't know what was going to happen with him. And then also his upbringing, he has a different mindset.
Yeah.
Like, we all know mindset is like, that's the one thing that'll take you, that'll take you as far as you'll go. For sure. At the end of it. It's all about mindset.
Ben Simmons, it feels like,
has been touted as this. He's been the guy. Mm-hmm. And they always say, like, when you get to college, especially D1 sports, the whole thing is that you're getting a team of people who was the guy in their high school, and now they're going with a bunch of other people with it who were the guy as well. Yeah. So you're really going to see, like, who stands out. And my thing with Ben Simmons' athleticism was able to carry him to that. And then again, this is someone who is the size of a power forward playing the point guard position. So he had all of these advantages that now it's like, when, you need to actually develop your game if you hope to have success. And he's just like, but why?
But some of it is also on some Sixers fans and some Sixers pundits, where they're like, well, if he does these things so great, why are we harping on the things that he does poorly? And it's like, I get that, but if you want to become the leader of your team and a superstar in this league, you have to develop your game at some point.
Especially if you're trying to get to a superstar level, because that's the difference. I mean, I don't want to sit here and say that Ben Simmons isn't a superstar, but
still not a max player.
You know what I'm saying? It's like no jump shot. It's kind of hard for me to throw Ben Simmons in that superstar category.
Can't be a superstar if you're non-existent in a half-court offense.
Yeah.
Like, because then at that point, you're just I think I follow somebody. It's like, you're just a 6'9" Rondo.
Pretty much.
A Rondo that can dunk the basketball. Because Rondo, at one point in time, was arguably he was the best point guard, I would say, arguably, at one stretch of time in the league.
And it was a different NBA.
And it was a different NBA at that point. Mm-hmm. Now, you need the 3-point shot is so important in this league. Yeah. Just about every time.
Just 20, to keep it honest.
28 to 30 teams basically
using
purposes. Yeah. Just to keep the defense honest. All right, you need to. But now, if I'm the defense, I'm playing Ben Simmons, I can just sit in the zone.
Yeah.
Or I can sit in the paint. Yeah.
But even going back to what both of y'all were saying, it's like him having a mid-range, it was like that would be effective, but you need it. Like, now you need a 3. Now you need
to at least. Think about how long Russell Westbrook, like, he's going to take his 3s regardless, but when it comes to jump shotting, Russell Westbrook feasts in the mid-range.
Yeah.
That was it. It's super athletic. I'm going to run down. I'm stopping pop mid-range.
Yeah.
And, obviously his 3 points, it's good enough for his position.
At least he can make a 3.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And if he gets hot, he gets hot. Where it's like Ben Simmons, it's like, literally, I will sit at the foul line, just try. I will do my best to not get a defense in 3 seconds, and I don't have to worry about you in half court.
Yep.
That's it. Wow, this might be wild. But.
Oh, shit. Hold up. Hold up.
He's an overhyped Corey Brewer.
Talking about, you got
Corey Brewer, he's like if Corey Brewer ate a mushroom from Super Mario Bros. Because Corey Brewer was transition, he was great. But even Corey Brewer can hit an open 3. He can defend. And then, have you ever heard anyone talk about Corey Brewer in a half court?
I mean, I know Corey Brewer can hit a three because, I mean, I've seen him hit the threes before on the Rockets, on the Timberwolves.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
But I mean, but I don't know. But that's a stretch.
Corey Brewer in transition was great.
I don't know,
but I mean, but Ben Simmons is different in transition. Like, don't get me wrong, Ben Simmons is arguably probably if I had to pick two people I want in transition in the NBA right now, it's LeBron James and Ben Simmons.
Yeah,
like Ben Simmons running a fast break is a sure thing. Ben Simmons is either scoring or your teammate is scoring. Like, there's no in between. Like, he is arguably one of the best players in transition right now.
He's got some Justin Thomas in him.
He has a lot of Justin Thomas in him. I will say that. We'll say that he has a lot of Justin Thomas in him. Just he can dunk and I can't. But no, he does.
It's all right, man. You can stop and pop. He can't.
That's
big facts. You
damn right about that.
There it is.
Like, he does the things he does well. He does like he's great at them. It's just the things he does bad. It's so glaring that it makes you worry. It's not even like he's a bad 3-point shooter. Mm-hmm. He's a bad jump shooter. He just does not shoot. And I mean, even if he took just one a game,
dude,
just to put the fear in, like, oh dang, he's actually shooting. Maybe I should get out on him.
He might get lucky.
He might get
lucky, and in a close game, shit goes in and you lose by 2. You know what I mean? Like shit like that. And
but it's like if you're down 3, right? And you need a basket on the Sixers, and you have a lineup of Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, Tobias Harris, Al Horford, and Josh Richardson, right?
On paper, that sounds fucking great. In 2K, that's probably great.
But who am I going to get that 3? I know I can't, LeBron. I know I can't. You're already taking out basically 2 people. You're taking out Simmons, and I would take out Horford because Horford, unless it's a screen and he's popping out to the top of the key, he's useless, right?
It's gonna have to be
Tobias is hit or miss because I love Tobias when his pull up 3 I love.
Yeah.
His standing 3 is is average, right? Yeah. Josh Richardson, why am I relying on Josh Richardson to shoot a 3? And I can't rely on Joel Embiid.
But I mean, he's probably the other reliable.
But he's the only other reliable.
The thing about it is Joel Embiid's probably gonna have the ball in his hands
which is upsetting. I don't want my center to be the best 3-point shooter or best 3-point threat in a need to win situation.
Yes, unless he's Porzingis.
So my thing, do you guys remember when we used to give LeBron a lot of shit for not having a post game and being that size?
Yeah.
And then he went out and developed a post game.
And now his fadeaway is just godly.
Yeah. And then we still have Ben Simmons, who you can't tell me one thing about his game that's changed from his first year in the league.
Yeah, but at the same time, how old is Ben Simmons? He's only 24 or 23. I'm pretty sure he's still young.
Yeah, but when it comes to young players, you at least want to see some progression.
Well, I mean, that's for sure.
He's had literally the same game.
I'm going to say Joel Embiid's game, I mean, he actually started working on his 3-point shot because he wasn't knocking down the threes like this at Kansas.
Yeah.
Like, he shot them, but it wasn't like he was shooting now he shoots almost like 7, 8 a game. I think he maybe only averaged 1 at Kansas. So he's definitely expanded his game. You can see other guys that have expanded their games too.
Bro,
whether it's working on their passing.
And Ben Simmons, I mean, I can't say he's dead because he's too young, and his team still wins games, I guess. But
when his contract finishes, he's gonna be like 27, right? Does he get another max?
Yeah. Well, but all right. So now let me ask y'all: if y'all had to choose, because we've seen what Ben Simmons can do by himself. Well, when I say by himself, without Embiid, and we've seen what Embiid can do without Simmons going forward. Because Brett Brown's probably gonna get fired at the end of the season. Who knows what's gonna happen with Elton Brand? Who do y'all build your franchise around?
Or if I'm the Sixers, I build my franchise around Embiid.
Even though Embiid can't really stay healthy. I mean, like in the early part of his career, he definitely couldn't stay healthy. Now he's a little bit better, but he's still a little injury ridden.
Part of the reason why I think so is because it's like different magnitude, but Porzingis kept getting hurt because of the workload.
Okay.
In a half court, the offense is run through Joel Embiid.
For sure.
You can do that, but the difference is that when the offense is run through Joel Embiid and you surround him with shooters or just some other offensive threat, then it's not all double, triple teams. It's not, oh man, he's going to hold the ball for 15 seconds trying to make something happen while someone maybe sets an off-ball screen.
Yeah.
It's the direct wear and tear will be different in that sense.
Yeah.
I just Joel Embiid's a better player.
Yeah.
So to me, especially now, it's like you want to take advantage of situations as they come. And I honestly, and I said this before they extended him, but it definitely was going to happen. You trade Ben Simmons for the highest thing you get, and you try and build an actual team around him. The skill set, they just don't mesh. Their games do not mesh, and you're not going to see the most out of these players playing together. Just like if you want to, you basically need to surround each of these players with the same sort of players.
Yeah.
Like you need to give them shooters and like defensive players and shooters.
You know,
you need people who can space the floor, and then you have someone who can, one other person can create.
I personally believe that. All right, well, I'll get to who I think to answer that question. But in regards to what you said about Porzingis, that definitely was an overworked thing. But Porzingis, when he got hurt, that was like the first major injury that he had.
Joel's injury.
Joel, it's his shoulder. You know, he's had foot problems, which is like for a big man. You know that's tough. But I'll say this in regards to the Sixers: the best roster that they've had with Simmons and Embiid was last season when they had JJ Redick, when they had Robert Covington,
Jimmy,
and they had
and like Dario.
Well, before
Dario and Robert Covington were great fits around them.
That team was perfect. I mean, there was no chance that they were gonna keep that core together. But if there was a way to like balance everything, it was perfect because you had Tobias, you had Jimmy that could shoot the ball or demand the ball when necessary, and then you had Simmons in transition, you had Embiid that was doing this thing. But personally, I think if we're talking about 5 years from now, whose ceiling is gonna be higher, I gotta roll with Simmons.
If you had Ben Simmons, sorry.
No, that's all good. I just say that because one, Ben is rarely ever hurt. When he's on the floor, we see what he's able to do when Embiid's not. And I'm not gonna say he's clogging the paint, but I mean that's what happens when they're both on the floor. They don't really mesh well together. I think in the long term, even though now Ben Simmons, he's not really a shooter. He doesn't have that jump shot. We've seen what happens to LeBron. I'm not comparing him to LeBron, but we see that that's something that can be developed over time.
How long is his contract? Can you look that up for me?
Yeah, I could look that up.
My thing is, Ben Simmons would probably do great on the Bucks. If you replace Ben Simmons with Giannis, I think Giannis is a better player. But the way the Bucks are set up, his skill set would fit there well. The Bucks have a bunch of defensive and players and shooters. You know what I mean? Like both of those players, if you surround them, like Ben Simmons, he's a playmaker, but his offensive game is severely limited. So if you can actually even just run an offense through him that way, where it's like, all right, go drive to the hole, where it's like you're not sending Ben Simmons to the rack because Joel Embiid's most likely down there anyway.
He's under team control until 2025, so that will make him 28.
Which would put him in line for a second Supermax.
Yeah, at 28, sure. That's the thing. At 28, right?
Yeah.
How long do you wait till he develops? I say if he's not shooting, I'm not even.
I'm not
even gonna say making. I'm saying if he's not shooting, 2 years into this extension,
if Ben Simmons is the same player
in 2 years,
and at the end of his contract in 2025, as he is right now, there's no way you can get, and that team has done nothing. Mm-hmm. There's no way you can give him another max.
Yeah.
I will say though, I if I had to pick between Joel and Simmons, I would pick Simmons only because that's how I envision. Like
that's a fair argument.
If I was building,
you guys are making.
If I was building a team, I would like to build around the point guard that can distribute the basketball, and because I don't really, not to say I don't believe in.
It's also a
big
point
men.
guard heavy year. League.
Like not to say I don't believe in the big men, but it's just I can have success with a Ben Simmons led team if I had Clint Capella. If I just had a guy that can pick and roll, grab rebounds for me, that doesn't need the ball on the post. So even if he's in the paint, like he's just there to get rebounds. He doesn't need the ball on the post. I can surround Ben Simmons with shooters, right? I can get guys that run in transition. Yeah. I could probably recreate the Phoenix Suns to a degree because I could get the ball, rebound. All right, I know I got my small forward, I got my shooting guard. We're going to run the break. Small forward catches the basket, shooting guard goes to the corner.
Yep.
Like, I can't do that with Joel Embiid because here he comes, lumbering up the court.
My thing with that is 5 years is too long. Like that's too long because you see it and you're the people who see him every day. You're gonna know after around two or three. And the thing is, when you get into those last years of the contract, trade value diminishes because they don't know if he's gonna resign, shit like that.
Yeah.
So my thing is, because in 2 years he's gonna be 26. How much more development are you getting at 26?
Okay, wait. Now here's my counter to that. So Embiid's contract is up after 2023. That's when he'll be 28. So in 3 years, he'll be him being Simmons, he'll be 26. So I think that's when you gotta realize, like, all right, what's gonna happen? Are we going to stick with Embiid and give him another supermax, depending on what's happening in his health and whatever.
Point, at that point,
and then you figure out what's going on with Ben Simmons at that point.